Hey folks, this is Rhykker. Let's talk about the resolution to the Season 3 Bloodshard exploit in Diablo 3 and explain why it was a big win for Blizzard and the community. Now, shortly after Season 3 started, a huge exploit went public that allowed players to rapidly gain thousands and thousands of Bloodshards. Now, one of the big reasons that this exploit went public was because a streamer named Rhykker was streaming himself doing it and explaining how it is done. As word of this spread in the community, top players were scrutinized, and a lot were seen to have an inordinate amount of Bloodshards, given how far into Season 3 they were. Without question, these people were abusing the exploit extensively. If you did a side-by-side comparison to a quote-unquote clean streamer like Quinn69, who had been streaming something like 13 hours a day since the release of Season 3, it was clear as day that there was absolutely no way that these other top players could have been so far ahead. The community was outraged as, once again, an exploit seemingly had ruined the season, and as usual, the community asked Blizzard to take action. Now at this point, things were looking very much like they were at the start of Season 1. When Season 1 released, there was this huge XP exploit. Top-end players, streamers were abusing of it to gain a huge Paragon level advantage. Again, the community was outraged. They demanded that these people be banned. And what happened back in Season 1? Well, nothing really. The exploiters went unpunished. Season 1 was arguably ruined in the eyes of many members of the community. But worse, really, a precedent was set that this was okay. That Blizzard was the lackadaisical jellyfish parent that would just watch and try to clean up the mess while his kids go around doing whatever the hell they want. So fast forward now to Season 3, and an almost identical situation emerges. But by now, we know how Blizzard reacted the first time this happened. Yes, they patched the exploit, but nothing was done to repair the damage that had been done to the seasons, and no one was punished for the behavior. So this time, when the members of the community rallied their pitchforks and demanded that Blizzard ban the exploiters, I and many others just sat there thinking, yeah, that's not gonna happen. In fact, we even started to see the emergence of a more realistic scenario, asking that Blizzard simply roll back the exploiters, since we knew that they wouldn't be banned. And that's when something unexpected happened. Rhykker, the streamer who extensively used the exploit and showed everyone how to do it through his Twitch channel, was banned. Permanently. His Battle.net account or Diablo 3 license or whatever was banned. And at that point, certain other streamers started to adopt some suspicious behavior, running tons and tons of low-level grifts in an absolute desperate attempt to make their number of Bloodshards collected, which is publicly visible on their account, match up a little more with the number of greater rifts that they've run. However, time ticked by and it seemed that no further bans were being issued. In fact, the very notion that Rhykker was banned began to come under suspicion. Maybe this was just some publicity stunt on his account, and he wasn't actually banned. Now, the very day that the exploit went public, Blizzard issued a hotfix that eliminated it. And they stated that they were in the process of actioning accounts which have been found to be actively using this exploit to gain an unfair advantage. But time continued to tick by, and nothing seemed to be happening. That's when characters started to disappear from the leaderboards. It was April 21st, less than 1 week after the exploit went public, that Blizzard posted a note saying that accounts which were found to have both used the exploit excessively and publicly promoted its use were permanently banned, and that accounts which were found to have used the exploit excessively but did not publicly promote it were rolled back and their associated heroes removed from active leaderboards, both on seasonal and non-seasonal. They also noted that accounts which were found to have used the exploit to a limited degree, or quickly stopped once they realized the scope of what was happening, were pardoned. And I quote, "We understand these situations can inspire a certain level of curiosity, and that it may not always be immediately clear if you're undermining intended game mechanics. Mistakes happen, but we hope this leniency won't be taken for granted in the future." End quote. What just happened? That was Blizzard coming out winning in this debacle. This was a huge win for Blizzard. In one calculated and masterfully executed move, they saved the integrity of Season 3 by ensuring that it was no longer polluted by characters that had an unfair advantage over others. They appeased the community by punishing those brought to trials in the witch hunts, and they redeemed their own reputation. They set a new precedent saying, we're not going to tolerate this shit, and if this happens again, we're going to come down on you hard. Respect is something that is earned. And people aren't respecting you if they feel that they can cheat through your game with no repercussions because you're not going to do anything about it. Now the best thing here is that this was not just a win for Blizzard. This was a win for the community as a whole. The integrity of Season 3 was saved. And best of all, we could all now feel a little more secure that when Season 4 rolls around, we're less likely to see an exploit. Or if we do see one, we can rest assured that only a fraction of the number of people who use the exploit will dare try to use one again now that we know that Blizzard takes action. Now let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about how Blizzard handled this. The only person who seems to have really been banned was Manor Cookie. Most players simply got rollbacks. Do you think these punishments were fair? Do you think they were warranted at all? Should more people have been banned? Should Manor Cookie have been let off the hook? You could argue that it's thanks to Manor Cookie that this became public and forced Blizzard's hand to react swiftly to it. Or maybe you think that Manor Cookie and everyone else that explained to people how to do this exploit, including myself, are scumbags, that we shouldn't have gone and made it public. I've had people tell me, Rhykker, you're a hypocrite. You are benefiting from this exploit. With the implication being that while maybe I don't use the exploit in-game, by making a video about it, I will get views, and that benefits me. And that's a fair point to argue. Obviously, I wouldn't bother making a video about something unless I wanted it to be viewed. And while you may think that I did something morally wrong by explaining to people how to perform this exploit, I respectfully disagree with your opinion. You see, I believe that information should be free. And censorship, the withholding of information, of knowledge, is a very disquieting concept in a free society. People were finding out that there was an exploit, and they wanted to know what it was. I could have just made a video talking about the exploit without actually revealing how it was done, but that A, runs contrary to my entire philosophy on sharing knowledge, and B, would be an insult to you, because it would effectively be saying that I don't trust you to make the right decision with this information. I don't trust that I'm just telling you this to sate your curiosity, and that I believe you're gonna go ahead and abuse this exploit, so I'm not gonna tell you how it's done. Now you might argue, well, you should have known that it's wrong to spread information about this because Blizzard doesn't want us doing that. And it is true that Blizzard generally tries to censor discussions about exploits, generally tries to stop that information from spreading, and is definitely against having people spread the information that exploits exist and especially how to perform them. And despite what I just said before about censorship, I don't fault Blizzard for that. Blizzard is a company that needs to protect its investment, it needs to protect its image, and of course any talk about exploits isn't gonna make them look good. But it was investigative journalist Horatio Verbitsky that said, journalism is spreading what someone does not want you to know. The rest is propaganda. That wraps up this video. Thanks for watching. Check out these other videos, and if you enjoyed this one, share with friends, leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe to join Rhykker's Raiders.